All right, Can-Am HD10, the Defender HD10. Victims of your four-wheel drive is either it's not engaging, it's not disengaging, it's just kind of taking a shit on you. I'm going to go through a quick video here because I've been going through the same thing, and I really couldn't find a damn thing on YouTube about what to do beyond simple stuff. Simple stuff is jack it off the ground, get your front tires freed up here. Go ahead and give those things a spin. Well, what you want to do, turn your key on first here. And real quick, if some of your rocker switches aren't lit up, then the chances are it's just a fuse. You can just go up here to your fuse box. I think it's F7. They're labeled, but pull that fuse out, see if it's blown. Chances are it is, and get yourself a new one, put it in, come back here, and you should be lit up like a Christmas tree and back in business. But if it is not a fuse, you can go over here, start working towards an actuator issue. When you're in two-wheel drive, back up, sorry. Make sure you're in two-wheel drive. Go down to either tire, front or left or right, and give that a spin. Two-wheel drive, those propeller shafts. Can you see it spinning there? Yeah. The propeller shaft should spin freely. I'm not even putting any pressure on that tire. If you're in two-wheel drive and this thing's locked up, won't move, then I'll show you here. Switch it to 4. See, I can't budge it. If that's happening in two-wheel drive, all things are pointing towards an actuator issue. So turn the key off. Let's go back and start talking actuator. I've already put a new actuator in, but what you want to do is pop your cargo box. Your four-wheel drive actuator on this machine is going to be located right here. That box with this electrical going to it. It's 3 fasteners, metric 10, I want to say. But before you get into that, pull this plug right here. Pull your electrical. Got 3 wires going to it, and let's make sure that your electrical is good. Get your multimeter out, and your switch wire, mine on this one's blue and white. Some of them are all white, but grounded out here on your gearbox. And give her a test, and it should be testing out at your battery, so about 12.6 volts. If it isn't, if it's less than that, significantly less than that, you might want to go to your vehicle harness and start going through connections and see if you got a loose connection. But in my case, it tested out, and I had to pick up a new actuator. So do yourself a favor. If you do have to get a new one, I'd just drain the diff fluid. When I was checking it, I had gear oil, diff oil. I had gear oil going everywhere, so you can drain that out and it'd be a lot less mess. But once you do that, get yourself a new actuator. About $270, and pull that plug out, get those fasteners out, pull it out, and it's going to look something like this. This is my old one here, and it's sitting in there like this. I guess I can go to what it'd be like from the gearbox side. It's sitting in there like this. You can see the fastener holes. You bolt it in, but this fork right here, it has got to be. It's got to be set in four-wheel drive in order to install it. So by that I mean that fork's got to be facing towards the cab. Okay, that's basically what it's set at right there on this old one. If it isn't, my new one came like that. So don't overcomplicate it. Just make sure that fork is set, and you come over here and you got your shifting linkage. It's a rod in there, and that fork is going to fit So we're over the top of that rod. My finger with a rod, be kind of something like that. It's not a very good example, but it's a bit of a trick. You gotta kind of set it in there and kind of rotate it kind of counterclockwise like this to get it to slip over that shift linkage, and then rotate it kind of back and get your holes lined up, and then just start sticking it back on there. I actually had to do it twice because I got it in there. It felt like it was on that shift linkage, but I got it fastened back down and went up and did the tire test, did a rotation, and it was still locked up in two-wheel drive. So if that happens to you, you gotta go back and pull the goddamn thing back off and start over. But I got it on the second time, and I'm back in business. So I know that, back to the actuator, I know some guys, I saw a couple things on YouTube that guys are splitting these things and calling it a half cam, where you can get just one half of the actuator, the electrical half. Maybe save yourself some money. I don't know. If you spent this much on a good machine, I say just bite the bullet and pay $270. Get yourself a new actuator and kind of start over. Mine, I've only got about 1,800 miles on this thing, but apparently these things, they can go bad at 1,800 miles. They can go bad at 18,000 miles. Regardless, yeah, get one back in there and get back after it. So I hope that helps, and get out there on the trail.